Alright, hello YouTubers, and if anyone is still subscribed to my channel, I know it's been a ridiculously long time since my last video, and I always say this every single time I record a video, a new one, because I always wait so long. I'm so sorry for this, but here I am with Eugen's new game, Active Aggression. I got into the VIP beta, which runs only from this weekend, and you can only play one faction, the US Army, on one map. Or, well, not true one map, there's actually four, but I only played on this one map so far. I've had some trouble with it. The game crashed multiple times before, and this is the first good game I could really get, so I decided to record it as soon as I could. Anyway, the game is sort of like Active War High Treason if you've ever played it, and kind of like Command & Conquer Generals, so there's a lot of little things to it, like the resource system is pretty unique among other things. And, well, let's just get right into it. So right now, I'm building refineries. What you need to do in this game to get resources is build refineries around resource fields. So as you can see, those little blue deposits are aluminum deposits, and those little yellow things are oil deposits. Oil deposits give you credits, which are the yellow currency, and aluminum deposits give you the blue currency. You can store an unlimited amount of credits. There is no limit to that, but you can only store like up to 1,000 aluminum in your headquarters, or else you need to build little expansion points, which I think are called FOBs, which are the bigger version, which you unlock later, or the exit or something I think it's called, which is a little tiny expansion point that you can which you can fit more aluminum in. What they do is the refineries have a certain radius around them where they automatically collect resources, and those little supply trucks that you see moving, M993 supply vehicles, move from the refinery to your HQ to drop off the resources. Here, I've already built a barracks, and I'm pumping out Marines, which are the basic US infantry, and as you can see, people are driving around their recon vehicles, which you spawn with. The recon vehicles equipped with a 50 caliber machine gun, and it moves very fast, and it is the only vehicle capable of detecting where resources are located. So early game, it is vital that you drive that unit around the map. So I built some Marines, and I'm about to put the Marines in the bank. As you can see there, that building right there, that's the bank. The banks are located, in this map at least, every person has a bank near their spawn, and the more infantry you put in a bank, the more money you get. There are also two banks in the middle of the map, which are the big yellow squares, which people fight over, because there is much more money in those banks than the one in your base. Here, he's driven his recon vehicle into my base, and he is shooting around. I believe that one actually has a Mark 19 grenade launcher on it, as you can see, and he's just kind of raiding me and doing very little damage, but still kind of a nuisance. And my construction dozer there actually was shooting at him as it goes to build the light vehicle depot. That's the light vehicle depot. And then he drives away. So yeah, refineries only refine in a certain radius around them. That is a key point that you had to know, and for the longest time I did not know that. They only collect resources around them, and the M993s do not actually pick up the resources. They only drive the resources from the refinery to your headquarters, or to another FOB, or to another HQ. So that is a key point that you have to realize, because I did not know that for a while, and I was wondering where the fuck all my resources were going. And also you have to make sure that your resources cap does not fill, because if your resource cap is full, like if you were run out of space, then you won't collect any more resources. It's basically like in Command & Conquer, where you have to build Tiberium silos, if you can remember. If you didn't build Tiberium silos, you would collect Tiberium, and it would not go anywhere. So that's a key point. So again, people are just driving around, they're scouting things here. My allies garrison that bank. That's an enemy vehicle that just drives by and got shot at by the Marines, but was relatively unscathed, because the Marines only have assault rifles, which do very little damage. And this guy doesn't really know what he's doing, because he has not built any buildings yet. He was kind of unsure. Later on in the chat, he kind of says, I have no idea what's going on. But his other ally has a much better idea there. He already has a FOB, or a little drop-out base resource point, as you can see there with all the blue boxes. That's the extra aluminum being built up. I'm also building field generators. The US Army faction has to have lots of power, so you have to have lots of field generators and lots of other lots of field generators to power your base. Although at Tech 2 you unlock a more powerful power plant, which supplies 8 units of power. So right here, the recon vehicle is getting hit by javelins, right there, and it was destroyed. The javelin is an anti-tank trooper. You can put them in buildings. You can see right there. They're pretty powerful against early game units. I think infantry in this game move way too slow though, and they also aren't really powerful enough. So that's a genuine flaw with this game. I just built a tow Humvee. So the Humvee is you built from the light vehicle factory, and you could upgrade it with the tow launcher, which makes it very effective against buildings and okay against structures. Very good hit and run unit. Right here I built a machine gun bunker, which is just a base defense equipped with a 50 cal machine gun. You can upgrade it with TOW missiles for anti-vehicle purposes and Stinger missiles, I believe, for anti-air purposes, but you have to upgrade to DEFCON 2 first. The US military, like in Active War High Treason, relies on the DEFCON system, so you have to level up to DEFCON 2 and then to DEFCON 1 in order to get the most powerful units. This game is fairly similar to Active War High Treason in many ways, but in many ways it's not. For one, it feels a lot more cartoony and unserious, and not as serious as Active War High Treason. The music and sound effects and explosions don't look as good, which I hope is just a beta thing, because otherwise I will be probably pretty miffed if they don't improve the seriousness and the effects and all that and make the game feel more like a real Active War successor, because even Active War had a story written by Dale Brown and it did feel quite serious. But as I'm playing this game so far, it just feels kind of like just a regular RTS with really not a lot of personality. So there I built a mortar team, which is just a medium-range light artillery unit for early in the game that is fairly effective against enemy troops, not really so much against vehicles. I've also built an upgrade center. That's the building with the white domes on it. Allows you to buy unit upgrades, and there's another building, the logistics center, which enables you to buy structure upgrades. Right there, the enemy player just built a Striker ICV, which is a light infantry carrier that can hold 8 infantry that you build from the vehicle center. It has pretty solid armor and a good gun, so it's a good early game transport. It has much more armor than the Humvee does, because the Humvee can transport 4 infantry, but it doesn't have nearly the armor that the Striker ICV does. So yeah, and here he's just again driving around his reconnaissance vehicle. I've just bought an ATGM Striker. That's an anti-tank Striker with TOW missiles, long range, high power, very effective against enemy ground units. And there's a Striker mounted gun system, which is basically just a Tech 2 tank Striker with a cannon on it, which is quite effective against all ground targets, although not as much against infantry, more against vehicles and structures. It costs 500 aluminum and 500 credits, so you do need aluminum to build that, whereas the Striker, ATGM Striker, you only need credits to build. So that's an interesting point. Excuse the FPS lag here. I believe the game was just lagging. Right there I built a sniper. Snipers are Tech 2 unit available to the Americans. They have a sniper which can clear buildings very easily. Because normally to clear buildings, in order to clear them, you have to storm them with infantry, and you can take lots of casualties trying to make it up to the building. And then once they're inside the building, they have to battle it out with the other enemy infantry inside, and it can go any way. But with the snipers can effectively pick off and shoot enemy infantry from far away and pretty much instantly kill them, which enables them to clear buildings quite quickly and quite effectively from range. So there I load up my Striker with the 2 snipers and 2 Marines. In retrospect, I should definitely have put like 6 more, or I should have just fully loaded it up. But this was just kind of an early attack force / scouting party. Right there, there's a Stinger Trooper, which is an anti-air soldier. I have, as you can see, the Striker's driving to the middle of the map. I'm just going to mount a little attack on the bank. It was nothing serious. It was more of a probing assault than a full, real assault. But I'm still driving it there nonetheless. He's about to get out here, and you'll get to see the combat. So, you get hit by 2 Javelin troopers, shot at him. I tell him to get out. The snipers get out. They quickly start to open fire on the guys in the building and quickly start to pick them off. At least the one of them anyway. I don't know what the other one is doing. This game is kind of finicky sometimes with the orders, and you can see the soldiers are getting pretty much wiped out. He moves up his recon vehicle there, which has a 50 cal, but my Striker ICV and my Marine quickly destroy it. But I'm getting shot at by javelins still, even though my snipers are pretty much picking off all of them. Right there, he is a Striker mortar carrier, which fires and kills one of my snipers. It has a machine gun and a long-range mortar, which is pretty effective against early vehicles. And there I'm advancing my 1 sniper and my 1 Marine to take the building. And I also have 1 guy left in this Striker, which I forgot to ungarrison. I believe that was another Marine, if I'm not mistaken. I probably should have remembered to take him out. So right there, the Striker is getting shot at and quickly pulls back. Even though I really had no weapons that could just kill him, he pulls back anyway. So right now I'm gaining money from the bank. You can't see it. It's only a very little amount because I only have 2 guys in the bank. The more guys you have in the bank, the more money you get. That's just the way it is. My base is going decently well. I just built another Striker MGS. Purchasing a couple upgrades right now. There's the close-up of the light vehicle depot. Again, I'm only running this game on medium settings because earlier I was running it on higher settings and the game kept crashing and freezing. So obviously the game is not very well optimized right now, which I can understand, but you know, the buildings look pretty good. Like the M993s going in and out, delivering resources and all that. They look pretty good. Oh, and right there, I just built the Tech 2 power plant. That's that building. So right here, the enemy just unloaded an ICV full of guys, but they got picked off by my sniper and my Marine, or a bunch of them did anyway. But he's shooting a mortar at the bank now, and one of the other mortar team just died there. But he has a Mark 19 Humvee shooting at the building, and several Javelin troopers and Marines with the M249 SAW upgrade, which gives them armor, and a SAW, which gives them a lot of firepower. And now he's storming the building and killed my guys. But for a probing attack, that was very, very effective. I killed way more way more value than the value of those 2 snipers, those 2 Marines, and the striker. I did a lot of damage and managed to distract him. Right there, that's the logistical center. That's the building upgrade center. It's also available at DEF CON 3. This game, another building that you should build at DEF CON 3 is the Field Hospital. The Field Hospital is familiar for anyone who's played Active War, High Treason, or Direct Action. And right here, he's just shelling the bank for some reason. Oh, and right there, my ally has built 2 Abrams tanks, which require the heavy vehicle depot. They're the late game heavy tank that only require credits. They don't require aluminum, actually. And right there, that big building is the heavy vehicle depot. So for him to have 2 Abrams out this early is actually pretty good. That means he rushed them, because Abrams are very, very effective if you get them early on. But yeah, as I was saying, the prisoner system in this game it comes back from High Treason, and how it works is when infantry units are severely damaged or when vehicles are destroyed, the crew of the vehicles will bail out, or the infantry will become like hurt on the battlefield. Then other Marines or other combat units can capture these units, and when they're captured, they will go to your field hospital, and they provide a steady stream of late game income. Right there's a medevac helicopter which you can use to heal or transport your soldiers. And when you have the prisoners, they give you money, or you can also convert them in an Active War High Treason. You could convert them into intelligence, which would reveal a portion of the map. I don't think you can do that in this game, though. But what you can do is you can convert prisoners into resources. You can either convert them into, I think it's 1,000 aluminum, or you can convert it into the late game resource, which is I call it the rare earth minerals. There's 3 resources in this game, as I've said: credits, which you get from oil and from prisoners and administrative buildings, which you build at DEF CON 1, which are available late in the game. Rare earth minerals are red resources, and they're only available on some parts of the map, and you have to build a special building, a tier 1 building that is not a refinery, in order to mine them and then process them like any other resource. My enemy there is moving up a small task force of several striker-mounted gun systems, striker ATGMs, and other stuff. A decently sized DEF CON 2 attack force. This guy on my side is just kind of figuring out how the game is starting, I think, because he doesn't really have anything built right there. Just sped up the time a bit. So he's got 2 Blazers, which are AA vehicles. They're LAV air defenses, which have a Gatling gun and a missile launcher, good for anti-air and for anti-infantry. Right there, those are pilots that were shot down, or I believe, and you can capture them. And I'm just looking around here. Yeah, another Striker ATGM, several Marines with the SAW upgrade, and a Black Hawk helicopter, or the medevac Black Hawk, which you can also use as a transport, although it's designed to be able for you to repair or to heal your wounded soldiers. I just built I don't remember what I just built there, but yes, now I have 2 Apache Guardian helicopters you can see there, which you build from the helipad, which I have in the rear of my base, and I don't mouse over it here, but the Apache Guardian everyone used to spam the Apache Longbow in Active War High Treason. The Apache Guardian is very similar. It's effective against pretty much everything. It's chain gun, rapes infantry, it's missiles, rape vehicles and structures, and it can also be upgraded with rocket pods later, which at DEF CON 1, it can also, I don't know why he keeps shelling his own bank. I really don't understand. Maybe he's weakening it on purpose. So right there, my Apache Guardians go in for an attack. They cause decent damage to them, but unfortunately my Apaches are shot down by his Blazers and are destroyed. He also has the CIWS upgrade for those Blazers, which enables them to shoot down incoming missiles. So my Striker MGS is engaged. My Striker ATGM is taking up the rear there because they have a longer range. So that's a good strategy, is always to keep your MGSs up front and your ATGMs up rear. And I also have my Striker ICV filled with Marines, which I unload and make them go in for an assault here. Ooh, that Striker MGS took an ATGM hit there. Firing a couple shells at the bank, but I realized that the bank is fully garrisoned with Javelin troopers and Marines, and it's very dangerous. So I try to go in with my Marines here for an assault, but unfortunately they all quickly get mowed down by enemy machine guns and by other enemy and by javelins and stuff. A lot of them just kind of stand there for some reason too, I don't know why. The mortars. The animations are obviously not complete for some reason because, the guys just kind of stand there awkwardly and don't really do anything properly. Because, the infantry is, the US infantry right now is just straight ported out of War Game. I'm almost certain it's a placeholder, but they better fix that for later. His units are pretty heavily damaged, but so are mine, so this engagement is kind of what I would call a stalemate. I don't really think anybody won or lost it, so I just have my units there and we're just kind of a standoff. Yeah, right there you can see the helipad that I built, and I'm starting to build more units now. So the phalanx gun system there, which shoots down incoming enemy planes and missiles. Good, it's a Tech 2 anti-air defense. Right there, his marine is getting killed by my javelin troopers. And right there, he has the Endlos upgrade for his javelins, which is you get it from the upgrade center. It enables you to give your javelins far greater range and makes them do top attacks, which make them do more damage. So my vehicles are just getting smashed by those javelins from really far out, so I make a retreat because that's ridiculous. Normally the javelin doesn't have that far a range, and then right there, that guy got hit by 2 javelins as well, because javelins can hit infantry, which I remember you could use javelins against infantry in the original in direct action as well, but they really weren't that effective. So I certainly hope that people change that, or else people will just spam javelins all the time. Now my enemy is spamming machine gun bunkers around the bank in order to keep it secured, which is a smart strategy. But so I for the rest of the game I pretty much don't attack the bank now because I realize that it's basically futile because there's just way too many defenses. If I were to do it, I would probably just shell it with mortar teams or the NLOS cannon, which is available from the heavy vehicle depot. It's a pretty heavy artillery piece that's quite powerful, does quite a bit of damage. And at DEFCON 1 you can also get the HIMARS, which is a MLRS basically that's quite effective against enemy units from a very long range. My allies' 2 Abrams tanks there are sitting there. I'm just continuing to upgrade and build my base up. He's moving in several Marines there. The other guy, Dick Cheney, I think his name is. Yeah, the guy on the right. And yeah, so the Marines continue to move up. I'm building more Apache Guardians. I also have a repair vehicle there along with my troops, as you can see, to help them to help them repair because most of those vehicles were pretty heavily damaged. So yeah, my mortar team is also moving back because I forgot to put them in a transport vehicle. Unfortunately, I'm building another refinery there because the resources around my other refinery were depleted, so I sold it and then moved it up the refinery up, so that the box around the refinery was changed so I could capture the other resources. That's something you have to pay attention to. Remember, always make sure that within your the refineries are like the real resources around your refinery, or else it won't do anything and it will be useless. So you have to keep that in effect and make sure that's working. My enemy's base there, he's a lot of solar panels. I'm pretty sure he forgets to know if... and right there you can see those Abrams look different and that Striker looks different. That's because I've upgraded them with the Tusk upgrade, which is a global upgrade, and then once you purchase the global upgrade you can get the individual upgrade. And what it does is that you can get it on the Striker, it increases their hit points, and if you get it on the Abrams it increases their hit points, and it also gives them a machine gun, which can see there's the unupgraded Abrams with no machine guns. Mine has the machine gun, as you can see. So it has the machine gun and upgraded armor, which enables it to engage. The machine gun is able to engage enemy infantry more effectively and enemy helicopters. And there's 2 Tusk upgrades. The Tusk 1 is available at DEFCON 2 for a pretty hefty aluminum and credit price. Then Tusk 2 is available at DEFCON 1, and that costs rare earth, metals, aluminum, and credits. And it adds another machine gun and even more armor to the Abrams. So once you have the Tusk 2 upgrade, your Abrams become very, very, very powerful vehicles that can pretty much go toe-to-toe with anything in the game. I mean, obviously I haven't seen the other 2 factions yet, so I really don't know how their tech trees work or how powerful their units are, but from what I've heard, the Abrams is pretty much one of the most powerful ground units in the game. And even in Active War High Treason, it was very, very, very similar. I mean, the Akula, which was the Consortium stealth tank, did more damage, but it didn't have as much armor as the Abrams did. One other thing I'm kind of disappointed in this game is that there's no unit abilities. Like Eugen said that they don't want to put in unit abilities because they say it's too micro-intensive. So like, you know unit abilities where you click on a unit and like tells you to use rocket pods or a special type of weapon or whatever. I don't know why Eugen has backtracked on that. I really don't think that putting in a couple unit abilities is really all that micro-intensive, because even Active War High Treason really wasn't a micro-intensive game, but it still had some unit abilities. I mean, it wasn't anywhere near what StarCraft or what Command and Conquer Generals had, but it still had them, and I think that they really should have some micro abilities in this game, because I do like micro. I mean, I'm more of a macro guy. I don't think that StarCraft 2 is the way this game should go at all, with just everybody microing the shit out of their units. And I get that Eugen wants to focus more on the resources gameplay, but at the same time, I think that just completely getting rid of all abilities is a step away from the series, because I don't... Even Active War, Direct Action, and High Treason had unit abilities. I mean, that's probably influenced from Wargame, because units in Wargame didn't have abilities or either, but whatever. Anyway, right here I'm flanking around the map with 2 Apache Guardians here. I'm trying to figure out where the hell his stuff is, but I end up going all the way back here because I'm assuming that this is where his base would be, but I actually didn't realize that it was much further up on this map, because the starting positions for me and my ally are quite close to like the rear of the map, but for him it's kind of different. So I'm just kind of flying them around here, just trying to figure out where his stuff is. And right here I come up on his refinery, which I shall engage. So I move in there, they fire their Hellfires and their chain gun. They cause pretty good damage here. It takes a little while, but the effects look pretty good. Again, this is medium graphic settings, and it's all alpha graphics basically. But it's still not bad. You can also try to shoot his M998 vehicle, but it's going way too fast. So I'll just speed it up for a little bit there. It's about to be destroyed here. Just give it a second. Yep, right there it's destroyed, so that refinery's gone. He has to rebuild it now, and I fly them further into his base to try and cause more damage, because I figure, hey, if I can destroy that refinery with no resistance, why not move into his base and cause some more damage? So right there I blow up his helipad, which was just getting built. I don't know if it gets destroyed while it's getting built, if you get a refund for that. Then I start shooting at that logistics center, but I switch targets to his resource fob, which was a mistake, because the resource fob, I believe, self-repairs or something like that, because I fire a whole bunch of missiles and cannons at it, but I can't seem to destroy it. I should have just kept firing at the logistical center, and I actually might have been able to destroy it before he moves up his Blazer, which has the Block 2 upgrade, because you can see it has 2 blocks of missiles that each fire 2 missiles each, so it causes massive damage there, and he quickly destroys one of my Guardians. The other one is still alive, but can't work too much longer. Right there, I fire my Hellfires off, which do some damage, but not enough, unfortunately, and my Guardians are destroyed. For a harassing attack, that was quite good. I could have sent probably 5, if I'd sent 4 or 5 Apaches, which I think by this point in the game I could afford, I probably could have caused some serious damage to him, but I chose not to. So my force is continuing to build up, continuing to get more Abrams with the Tusk upgrade. I have an aircraft control center there, as you can see there, and I have 1 F-35 Lightning purchased for it. Aircraft in this game work pretty much exactly the way as they do in High Treason. What you do is you buy the plane, you click a point on the map, and the plane will fly from outside the map to the point that you select on the map, and it will engage any enemies along the way there, and when it gets to the target, to the enemies, to the location where you called it in, it will loiter there for a brief period of time, shoot at enemies there, and then after a while it will evac. Their kill first escalator on the phalanx. So the U.S. Army gets 3 aircraft, the Lightning, F-35 Lightning, which is an air-to-ground, right there I'm building my rare earth mining center. As you can see, to mine those red modules, because so now that means I'm at DEFCON 1, because you have to be at DEFCON 1 to build that. So yeah, the Lightning is available at DEFCON 2, which we're going to unlock the aircraft control center. It will engage enemy vehicles on its way to the target and loiter in the targeted area and engage more enemy vehicles. Its missiles cause okay damage, not as much as the A-10 or the Black Widow did in High Treason. Those missiles could easily cripple an enemy vehicle in one hit, but not in this game. And there's the Raptor, which is an air-to-air vehicle that will shoot at enemy helicopters and enemy planes, and the B-2 Spirit, which is available at DEFCON 1, and it's a very heavy bomber. I use one later in this game. I will show it to you. It's very, very devastating. And since it's also stealth, although actually all US aircraft in this game are stealthed, and that means that when you call in a stealthed aircraft, it will not, in Active War Direct Action, whenever you call in a plane, it would say incoming enemy air raid. Whenever you had the early air warning siren upgrade appeared, and it would appear on the map. But even if you had the B-2 Spirit, which was a stealth bomber in that game, but if you had the early warning upgrade purchased, it would also say incoming enemy air raid. But in this game, if you don't have, like at least for the U.S. planes, which are stealth, if you don't have the early air warning siren upgrade, it won't let you know at all that there's enemy planes coming in. So you have to purchase that upgrade for yourself, or you won't know that the enemy planes are coming in until it's too late. You can get an upgrade for your Blazers with the Block 2 upgrade, I believe. There's a separate upgrade. There's the Block 2 upgrade, which gives them more missile firepower, but then there's also the passive active radar upgrade, which enables your Blazers to detect enemy stealth aircraft. And with that upgrade, you can see and shoot down the enemy aircraft. So his base, or the enemy's base up there in the top right, is getting bigger. He just built his upgrade center. He has a logistical center already, and he's building an upgrade center. The middle of the map is extremely heavily fortified with like a million heavily upgraded machine gun bunkers. So I'm not going to go there. I have 4 Apaches now on top of my other quite sizable attack force that I probably could have just pushed up into his base and wiped him out, but I didn't know that at this time, so I decided not to. Other than that, game's going relatively slow. Like again, I hope that all games wouldn't go this slow, but because nobody really knows what the hell they're doing, like I'm pretty sure this was Dick Cheney's, the other guy's, first game, but wasn't I played a couple games before this, but as I said before, they kept crashing. So yeah, a lot of people didn't really know what they're doing. So my attack force is pretty sizable, but as you can see, the other guy on the top left has a pretty sizable attack force as well. Stryker ICVs filled with infantry, ATGM Strykers, bunch of MGSs, but I have a whole bunch more Abrams than he does. Right now I'm building the B-2 bomber at my aircraft control center, but it requires rare earth minerals that I'm continuously short on. Right there, I drove my recon vehicle up in here, but unfortunately he had those 2 machine gun nests, which quickly decimated my recon Jeep. I will do something about that in a bit, as you can see. So right there, yeah, pretty sizable attack force, bunch of Blazers, MGSs, Stryker ATGMs, Stryker mortar carriers, and Stryker ICVs. Dick Cheney has a bunch of infantry there that are stuck because he boxed them in. I just built Patriot. That's a DEFCON 1 tactical missile defense system, and I ran out of power doing so. If you remember from High Treason, there are tactical weapons, which are super weapons, and then tactical weapon defenses, which are just counter super weapons. So basically, if you have a Patriot, you can shoot down enemy super weapons in a certain radius. You do have to buy the missiles for them, however. They come with 1 free missile, but you have to buy more, and they cost rare earth minerals as well. So, but the thing is that last time I played this game, like when my game crashed, I was nuked. I got nuked, and then as soon as the nuke went off, my game crashed. So that's why I made sure this time I wasn't going to get nuked. I mean, I wasn't sure how good the enemy players were. I didn't know if they were going to, tech rush to DEFCON 1 and get nukes, which is sort of what I did, although I didn't really tech rush to get nukes. I just, just teched up. But, this is obviously, early beta gameplay, so the game balance and all that is completely not final at all, and I'm sure many, many things will be changed, and I hope they're changed, including the music, the seriousness of the game, the effects and all that, so that it becomes a worthy successor to High Treason and have some micro still, but we'll see what happens. I think this game does have potential, but I was sort of impressed, but unlike with Wargame, where I continually felt like I wanted to come back and play more, I really, really, really love the Wargame series. It's pretty much what I've been waiting for this whole time, and I really love Red Dragon. But this game, I like that it's a successor to High Treason, but I don't know if it's going to be a worthy successor yet. So right there, I have my NLOS cannon firing there. It has a pretty long range and causes pretty high power with its lots of damage with its shells, very big explosion radius, so those are quite dangerous. If it's a DEFCON 2 unit, you can upgrade it with Excalibur shells, which increase its accuracy and range even further. I don't think I have them right now, though. Funny thing is, the NLOS cannon was actually cancelled, and it is not used it was never purchased or used by the US military, so for them to have a cancelled vehicle that was actually cancelled, I think back in like 2000 and I think the NLOS program was cancelled in 2007 even, or 2006, so it was cancelled a long time ago. So for them to have that in this game is kind of weird. As you know, there are 3 factions in this game: the U.S. Army, the Chimera, which is kind of like a UN kind of like New World, well, not really a New World Order, it's just like a UN, like Europe kind of combination, European, American, and like Atlantis peacekeeping force, and then the Cartel, which is the Cartel is basically like the Illuminati, which is a whole bunch of ex U.S. Special Forces people and right-leaning multinational kind of like secret weird force, which had very futuristic like laser particle weapon technology and shit, and it's very shady. So right here, my enemy's moving in a rather large attack force into my ally's base, which he has almost no defenses for. So he starts to get really worried at this point, and as you can see, the Striker Morticaires are shelling him. But actually, my enemy does have 4 Striker ATGM, 1 MGS, and all that, and Striker ATGMs do considerable damage to Abrams, and they have very long range. But against 5 Abrams tanks, I'm pretty sure the Abrams would win, because the Abrams cannon can pretty much one-shot a Striker. So if he microed them properly, he might be able to win. Oh, and here comes the B2. Here comes the B2 Spirit. It's about to cause massive damage. So right there, he drops all his bombs, cause massive damage, and then boom! Crash. The bomber crashes, and the crash actually does almost more damage than the bombs do. Which, I don't know if it was intentional, and he did get shot down, unfortunately, and that B2 was extremely expensive, but I also caused very heavy damage to his base with that, so I think it was probably worth it. He didn't know it was coming because he didn't have the upgrades, and I just wanted to... The B2 bomber was pretty powerful in Active War High Treason as well, so I'm glad that they kept that. Right here, my ally moves up a bunch of his Abrams tanks, but unfortunately they don't have any upgrades, they don't have Tusk upgrades, so they can't shoot. They're completely worthless against the enemy helicopters. So the Abrams tanks do cause pretty significant damage to the enemy Strikers. They're destroying several of them, they're destroying many of them, and also killing lots of the infantry, but unfortunately there's just too many helicopters and enemy units and they're overwhelmed. However, lots of the enemy Strikers were destroyed. He's only down to, I think, 4 Strikers and 3 Apaches, so he took pretty heavy damage. That was a fair trade-off. I guess it was a victory for him, but he did take a lot of casualties, so I'm not entirely sure if that was worth it for him. But now he's moving in, and at this point my ally starts to get really worried, and he's like, oh my god, I'm dead, I need your help, please come help me. So in a minute here I will send over my Apaches, or my 4 or 5 Apaches. I don't remember when I do, but I think it's relatively soon here. I'll just speed it up quickly for you so you don't have to wait just for a few seconds here. I continued to shut right there. What I did earlier is I drove over an Apache, but the Stinger shot it down, so I just fired my NLOS cannon once and killed all those infantry. Infantry are pretty useless late game. Like, there is the Delta Operative, which is a DEFCON 1 unit that costs 100 rare earth minerals, and it has a submachine gun and is very effective against enemy infantry, great for clearing buildings. And you can upgrade them with an M72 Law, which enables them to attack enemy vehicles, but I've never used them because infantry in this game are currently really not very good. It was kind of that way in direct action too, unfortunately. Infantry kind of lost their utility late game. So there's a battle going right there. The Apaches are firing their NLOS missiles. The top attack Apaches get them too. The Guardians get NLOS missiles as well. And the Abrams got wrecked. My ally does have 2 base defense, 2 MG nests with TOWs and Stinger missiles, or Sidewinder Chaparral missiles. So he does have the ability to, and I have a HIMARS here, which is the DEFCON 1 MLRS, very long range, very powerful. And now I'm sending over my Apaches finally. Took a long time, but now I'm sending them over there at the field hospital, as you can see. And there's a battle going on here now. The MG nests with TOW missiles and Stinger missiles are attacking and actually causing very heavy damage to the attacking force. Plus my ally does have 4 Apaches with the Hydra 70 rocket pods upgrade there, as you can see, so they fire the rockets and Hellfire, which will do a lot of damage. And I have my own Apaches here, which I brought in, which have just arrived, and I'm going to shoot and destroy his stuff. Neither of us had the NLOS missile upgrade here, which in retrospect is probably should apply because it really does make your Apaches lethal. I'm just worried that Apache Guardian spam will be way too easy to do, because in High Treason, pretty much what people would do is they would late game it would either be Abrams spam or Apache spam, because Apaches were effective against everything pretty much, and they would and Apache spam would always beat Abrams spam. So if you're the U.S. Army, why would I spam anything else? So right here, I pull back my Apaches and my ally does too. I mean, we probably could have caused pretty significant damage to him there. Let's use the FPS lag, but he does have a Phalanx and a couple of other Blazers and stuff, so we might have lost them. So in retrospect, it was probably good that we didn't attack. But I have the HIMARS upgrade for my MLRS now, which is an upgrade that you can purchase, and it fires a single Very high damage, extremely long range missile. Like, just look at the range on this thing. Just look at it. It's literally like halfway across the map. And you can, to know what you can shoot down these missiles with Phalanx systems or with Blazers with the CIWS upgrade. And there's 3 enemy F-35s flying around when they're doing. I think the planes fly kind of low. That's another huge complaint about this game, is that you cannot zoom out far enough. And I do there's a satellite mode that you can use to control your planes, but other than that, you really can't zoom out very well at all, and the planes fly really low, which looks kind of stupid, but I'm sure they'll fix that. So as you can see, I have my HIMARS here. I believe I'm about to fire it in a second here. Well, I did fire it earlier, but he didn't hit anything because the target that I was shooting at was destroyed. Yeah, right there. It's fired. The missile, as I said, can be shot down, so it's not completely overpowered. I'm engaging an Apache right there. Boom! You see the missile, ATACMS missile, almost completely destroyed that refinery in one hit. So if you're not careful, the HIMARS with the ATACMS missile upgrade can be very devastating. It's like a very long range. And right there, the Lightning is engaging with air-to-ground missiles. The Lightnings don't attack buildings normally, but they usually attack vehicles. And right there, the MG Nest fires Stinger missiles, but misses, I believe. I couldn't really tell if the F-35 got destroyed or if it just managed to get out. I mean, that's another thing about this game. You can't really tell when units get destroyed or shot down very easily. So right there, I'm engaging with my Apache. Again, my Apache Guardian, he has the rocket pods upgrade. It doesn't have the Endless missile upgrade though, which I should have got. Right there, another ATACMS missile causes very heavy damage to the plant. And one more missile, I believe it will be destroyed. Enemies moving up several more Apaches now. The building's actually getting repaired. That's the reason why it's around. And right there, my Apache starts to get fired at by his repair vehicle. Right there, boom. Okay, the attacker destroys it. My Apache is getting shot at by his repair vehicle, which has a Mark 19 on it. Mark 19s can engage air targets in this game, so do watch. Be careful of that. Enemy has 4 NLOS cannons, which is quite dangerous, because 4 of those things can cause ridiculous damage to a base if you're not careful. Right there, build a Peacekeeper silo. This is the United States' super weapon, the Peacekeeper nuclear missile. When you buy the silo, it's quite expensive to build, and after you buy the silo, you have to buy the missile as well, and then the missile has to arm, which takes quite a long time. And you can also upgrade the silo to the Peacekeeper 2 missile, which causes even more damage and has an even greater area of effect. I don't know if it's harder to shoot. Right there, the ATACMS missile actually blows up my own helicopter, which is kind of retarded. But yeah, so I'm building my nuclear missile, which is the super weapon, and the only way you can stop them is with the Patriot missile system, which is the only way that you can shoot down the Peacekeeper missiles. So it was called the Wolverine in Active War Direct Action at High Treason, the Wolverine, and you could upgrade the Wolverine missiles with plasma charge warheads, I believe, which caused far greater damage in a much larger radius. And a single plasma, like normally the nuclear missile could not, like a Wolverine upgraded with the plasma charge upgrade could actually completely destroy even the headquarters building. In this game, I did not upgrade it to the Peacekeeper 2 because it was too expensive. But I will use it here in a little while. You will see. So right there, the guy on the right side surrendered because, if I remember from the chat log, he effectively said, "I have no idea what's going on, and this game sucks." So I kind of agree with him. The very first time I played this game, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Like, it's not very intuitive at all. I mean, not that War Game is very intuitive either. It's not. War Game is like one of the least intuitive games around. I'm not kidding. It's very unintuitive. So right there, I'm bringing up 5 Apaches, Guardians now, and my attention is shooting. I quickly destroy it. This is how I have here. Yeah, quickly destroy it. I also destroy this exit or whatever its name is, the little resource pad. And I'm continuing to. I'm currently arming my nuke silo, although it takes a little while, obviously, and costs quite a bit of rare earth minerals, which I keep running out because I only have one site mining them, and it takes a while for the vehicle to make it back and forth from the point. This map, you don't really have to fight over resources. I don't know if that was intentional, but in Active War High Treason, you really did have to fight over the oil deposits. and the banks. In this game, though, I didn't even bother to make a run for the middle banks, and I still had more than enough resources to win the game. Although what I'm thinking is the enemy team really just wasn't very competent, so even though they probably did have more resources and more credits and money, credits and aluminum than I did, they just didn't know how to use it properly because they were new at the game and didn't know the tech tree and what to buy. And to be fair, I'm new to the game as well. Again, this is literally only my third or fourth game that I've ever played. But the only reason I kind of know what I'm doing is because I have lots of experience with Wargame and with the Active War series previously. So I sort of know what's going on. I'm researching some more upgrades there. I believe I purchased the Tusk II upgrade in a minute here, which you'll see on my Abrams tanks once I get it, although I don't get it until the very end of the game. There's a recon helicopter, that's a little bird you can build from the helipad. There's also a V-22 Osprey that you can get, which is a heavy transport that can transport, I think, like 12 or 16 guys, and it's heavy armor and you can upgrade with a Gatling gun, but I don't use it. Unfortunately, my helicopter gets raped by that Phalanx and by, I think, an enemy Blazer as well. Oh, and right there, Peacekeeper missile launch. So that launch looked kind of shitty, and the animation looked kind of bad, so I really hope they fix that. It looked pretty subpar. And the missile, you can see it on the mini-map there. I'm clicking on it in a sec here. Yeah, right there, it's moving towards him. If you can just barely see it on the mini-map there, I think. And it will impact in a minute. 3, 2, soon, and boom! Yeah, that nuke effect is actually really, really shitty. Like, I'm sorry. The nuke from the previous Active War Direct Action looked better than that, and the nuke from World in Conflict looks better than that, and that's sad. Both those games are 10 years old, okay? Like, when a nuke effect from a 10-year-old game looks better than a nuke effect from a 2015 game, there's something fucking wrong, okay? Like, I know I'm not running the game on the highest graphics settings, but still, what the fuck? A 10-year-old game with better nuke effects? Oh, now I have the Tusk II upgrade for my tanks, as you can see as well. They have 2 machine guns and the Born to kill on them, and all the blue little ammunition or water bit drums or whatever the fuck they are, I don't know. But still, I was pretty disappointed with that nuke effect, I must say. I really hope they fix that, and I'm assuming they will, but come on, Eugen. Like, Ruse looked really good. Ruse was a really, really good looking game. I mean, I didn't really like the gameplay of Ruse because I thought it was far too rock, paper, scissory. But this game is kind of rock, paper, scissory, but not that bad. That's kind of why I like this game over games like StarCraft. I like this game and Command & Conquer Generals over games like Command & Conquer 3 and other games because they are not very rock, paper, scissory. They're kind of not like some units kind of counter others, but it's not as hard. So they're not hard. Well, there are hard counters, but they're not the same. So, you know, I really hope this game doesn't go full rock, paper, scissory and kind of maintains a bit of the spirit that enabled Active War High Treason to be so good. And right there on the left side, the enemy is mounting one final hurrah with his fairly large attack force, several Abrams with unupgraded Abrams. They don't have either Tusk upgrade, and I decided to move in my 5 Apaches. The other guy has already surrendered, although the base is given to the other guy. And so my ally has 8 Abrams tanks, and I have 5 Apaches. Plus he has a whole bunch of other shit, so already it's not looking good for him. Right there, the mortars attempt to engage, but are killed, but are shot down. Well, the Enlos cannons fire, but some of the shells are shot down. And yet the Enlos missiles from the Apaches. Right there, I moved even my Apaches, but they are quickly all wiped out by his Blazer AA guns. So don't bunch up your Apaches like that if you're going against enemy AA units. That's a mistake. You will get killed. Same thing happens to my other ally. They have quickly get wrecked, but they do have a little bit of damage. Yeah. So he brings up more, but again, it's not a good idea to use Apaches against enemy AA guns. It's just not a good idea. So all the Apaches get wrecked, and he retreats his Abrams tanks, which was stupid because he outnumbered. And here come the F-35s again. They shoot their missiles and destroy that one repair vehicle, which is pretty heavily armored. And they fire off their flares, which he did update them with, although his AA Nest and Phalanx are engaging. And the F-35s, I don't know if they're destroyed or not. Again, I can't tell, although I didn't see them crash, so I'm assuming they managed to get out. The Phalanx begins to engage the enemy missiles that they're fighting at the missiles and the enemy Guardians, and shreds a whole bunch of them. Although the Enlos cannons are firing and they cause very heavy damage. But now he's completely out of Apaches, and he only has blazers and animals cannons. Now, although you can see that animals cannons cause retarded amounts of damage if they're left uncountered. And right there, that was boom. That was an ATACMS missile from my own unit that quickly destroyed a whole bunch of his stuff. And now we move in to finish him off with our GSs and our blazers and our Abrams and our Striker HGMs and my custom 2 Abrams as well. So as his attack force is quickly wiped out there, and he sends in a couple unupgraded Abrams because that's all he's left at this point, and a couple other vehicles. And at this point, he pretty much knows he's lost. He doesn't care. He's throwing all his units for one last hurrah. Another ATACMS missile causes massive damage, and then we move in our tanks, and boom, they're destroyed. Oh, actually, wait, no, not quite over yet. With one that and one other Abrams, boom, wiped out. And with that, he's only got one Abrams left, a couple other units scurrying around. I have a retarded amount of resources at this point. And his base is, he has no Patriots missile defense, so he knows I can nuke him, and that's it. It's over. So for first impressions, this game has a lot of potential. I really think it might be a worthy successor to Command & Conquer Generals 2, or Command & Conquer Generals and Active War High Treason, and maybe it will be what Command & Conquer Generals 2 never was. But at the same time, there's a lot of things they need to fix, like the seriousness of the game, the tone of the game. They need to fix how it feels, and the effects, and the mood, and a whole bunch of other things, and make the effects better, and make it really feel like a worthy successor to Active War, and with some war game elements. And they need to make sure that it fits into an RTS that people want to play in 2015. So with that, I thank you guys for watching. The beta is over at this point, so I don't think I'll be able to do anything else, but I thank you guys for watching, and I will try to come out with more Command Modern Air Naval Operations videos as soon as I can, and I will also try to come out with more videos for this game once the beta ends. So again, Sky Number 7, thank you for watching, guys, and have a good day.